What's up YouTube? It's your girl Liz Lorette and I am back with another video for you. We are jumping back into our PCS series and today is the 3-month PCS checklist, right? But first things first, if you have not watched my labor and delivery vlog, which I posted last week, please go click on it, check it out. It's very sweet, if I do say so myself. But I just wanted to share kind of that wonderful moment with you guys as I brought my wonderful son, baby CP, baby Curtis, into this world. So definitely check that video out. If it's not for you, I totally understand. You came here for PCS checklist stuff. It's all good. Let's get into it. Let me say this, PCS season has gotten crazy so far. So remember I posted the 6-month PCS checklist about 3 months ago, right? Yeah, so we were supposed to be PCSing in 3 months from now, but then coronavirus hit, right? And so a huge pandemic, and it kind of put a stop move on the military. If you are PCSing during this time, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but basically the military was like, whoa, nobody's going anywhere. You're staying where you're at until we get all of this figured out. So it didn't really affect us, but because we had that stop move in place, once they lifted it, there's now some new different regulations that I have to kind of consider with this move. So some things may be changing. Some things that I talk about probably won't even apply a year or two down the road. People probably won't be quarantining for 14 days and things like that, like we have to do when we get to our new duty station. So those things will change, but things are just crazy. The next thing that I want to say is, you see this shirt? It's awesome. First things first. First things first. I already said that. Second things second. I said my second thing. Third things third. This shirt, if you can see it, it says Faith. It's like a cross. It's super cute. I got it from a online shop called liveinfaith.co. Love their shop. It's so amazing. They have so many cute shirts. So check them out. No, this is not sponsored, but I just love their shirts. I love the message that you can spread simply by wearing a shirt and people reading those things. So check that out. But the reason why I bring up this shirt besides loving it is because you're going to see this in next week's video. Why? Because next week I'm going to do the 1-month PCS checklist. Yes, because in all the coronavirus craziness, our PCS actually is moved up. So I had mentioned before you can request an earlier report date, right? So that's what we did. Initially, our report date was in October. You can request up to 30 days earlier, and so that's what we did, right? I'm sorry, not 30. You can request up to 60 days earlier is what they told me. So October was the 10th month. We actually requested 90 days, and then they gave us 60 days, right? So that bumped us up to heading out in August. So that's what I was planning for all along, heading out in August. But with the coronavirus hitting, now they say you can report 30 days earlier than your approved report date or 20 days after. So now, to make sure that we are all settled in housing, we can do our 14 days worth of quarantine, we can get our child registered for her new school and all of that stuff, we're reporting 30 days before our early report date because the military let us do it that way. So now, whereas it would have been 3 months, we are about 1 month out from packing and picking up day. So we are leaving here July 6th through the 13th are our traveling days. They are picking up our goods on July 2nd. It's about to get crazy, but I'm going to share all of these things with you today, film bunches of videos, well, probably 2 videos, maybe 3 today, so you might see this outfit in a couple of different videos, but it is what it is. So after all that rambling, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, y'all, and I do want to mention really quick, I know y'all see this hot mess behind me in the background, right? I'm giving you PCS realness today and probably through the next couple of videos that you're going to see for the next month or 2. Why? PCS in real life is messy, it is chaotic, it is crazy. I had a baby 5 weeks ago, so I am caring for Is he considered a newborn? I'm caring for a new infant, right? I have a 5-year-old who, when I planned all of these things, when I made all these checklists, when I planned out how everything was going to go, I did not account for a global pandemic shutting down schools for the rest of the year. So I have now had to homeschool a 5-year-old, care for an infant, take care of the home, get ready to PCS, do all these crazy things. So yes, you see a hot mess expressed behind me. But again, if anything, I've already told you, your girl Liz gonna keep it real with you. And this is PCS realness. So you have artwork back here. I'm pretty sure, I don't even know what you can see behind me. I know you can see a dang cardboard box. That's my shred box because I'm going through all our paperwork. You can see paperwork back there because I have to file it. If you could see my desk to the left side of me, it's insane, okay? If you could see upstairs, we have boxes everywhere of donating stuff. It's crazy all around me. I try to make it nice, but listen, like I said, I would be putting on a front if it was all beautiful behind me. I know you don't want that. I know you want the realness from me, and that's what I'm here to give you. Okay, I know you're like, girl, get into the PCS checklist. I got you. 3-month PCS checklist available on my website for free, for a free download for you, along with all of my other PCS kind of printables for the free. LizLorette.com. Check it out. So we are at the 3-month PCS checklist. The first thing that I always like to do, I'm a big researcher, as I have mentioned to you, you want to map out your travel route. So by now, hopefully you know kind of what day. You actually don't need to know what day you're leaving in order to map this out, but I like to just map from my losing duty station, or from our losing duty station to the gaining duty station. I like to figure out kind of the bigger cities that I want to stop in. You know, you may like small towns, but no, that's not for us. Not when you travel through the South. Listen, I no disrespect to the South, but you just never know what you're going to come upon, right? So we like to stay in major cities, okay? We like to stay in well-lit neighborhoods, things like that. So go ahead, map out your travel, map out the nights and the destinations that you want to stop so you're kind of aware. The biggest thing, I think I've mentioned this before, you know, we're traveling with a dog. So we need to find hotels that accept dogs. I need to know exactly what that pet fee is, if there's a deposit, different things like that, so we can plan for those things. So that's one big thing for me. La Quinta Inn is a great hotel, yeah, it's a hotel chain that accepts pets. Sometimes they don't charge a fee, sometimes they do. It just depends on the location. But we've stayed there before. I feel comfortable. I always check the pictures right. Sometimes you get an old rinky-dink La Quinta, but I definitely feel comfortable. You can also map out and stop at military installations because they do accept pets too. But sometimes it can be a lot more expensive for you to stay with your pets, from what I was noticing. And on top of that, again, if you're moving in the summer, you're going to see a lot of people staying on military installations. So it'll be a little bit harder to get in there. So that's why we just kind of choose to just stay the kind of civilian route, I guess, as far as hotels. Like I said, map out your travel route, determine your nightly stopping points, pet-friendly locations on your route. So not only is this related to hotels, but think about different rest stops. Think about restaurants, right? There is a restaurant, this is kind of the only one that I know of, the Lazy Dog Cafe. I love that restaurant, but you can bring your pet there and sit on the patio. Y'all can all eat together. So that's huge too. Like, you don't want to just be stuck in the car constantly, like on the road, drive-throughs, things like that, and your dog doesn't get to get out and exercise and things like that. So find pet-friendly locations. Find those pet-friendly locations in your nightly stopping areas in case you want to go to a park. Maybe your dog needs to run around at a dog park. You can find things like that just so that you're taking care of every member of the family, and that'll leave you less stressed. Please trust me. Again, this is my first time traveling with a dog, so maybe I'll change this, but I know I'll be less stressed if my dog gets her energy out, if the family can run around and do things that they need to do. That makes mama happy. That's also why I'm booking hotels that have pools, because the 5-year-old can go swim and get energy out in the evening. So excited for that. You're going to want to start researching different job opportunities. You know, if you're 3 months out, this may be a good time to start looking at, especially if you're looking for government jobs. I mean, 6 months out, you want to start looking at those because they can have wide windows of application periods. So go ahead and start researching the different job opportunities, jobs on the military installation. If there's a city right around it, or if you're going to commute maybe a distance, you want to start researching those things. Start applying, putting feelers out there, getting your resume together. All of that would be a good decision. Start looking up social opportunities. If you are a social butterfly, kind of like me, I would say an introvert at first. I'm real quiet. I sit back and just kind of observe, try to see what everybody's all about. That's why I like Facebook, because I get up on there, try to find out who's the crazy ones to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Who's always beefing with people? No, I don't need that in my life, right? So I sit back, I observe, and then once I make a friend, girl, you are my friend for life, and we are gonna be best buddies. And I am going to be crazy and loud and rambunctious. Maybe not super crazy and loud, but like I said, what you see here, this energy, that's what you're gonna get from me in a friend, right? But I like social opportunities. For me, the biggest thing, when we lived in Temecula, while my husband was in Korea, I was attending a church called the Bridge Church, and it was amazing. And these women were and are amazing, and they were on fire for God, and they were all about like bringing young women into Christ and just nurturing them and mentoring them, and then just having a relationship between, you know, the older, more seasoned women of God and the people new in faith and the middle schoolers and the high schoolers, and just, it was just amazing. So we met like every Tuesday morning, and it was phenomenal. It was just, that place was filled with the Holy Spirit. Everybody was on fire for God, and I just loved it. So I am looking for something like that in Virginia. That would be considered my social opportunity. I would love to find other women, other mothers who love Christ and who want to leave an impact on the world, and who just love having fun because they were so real. It was like we were at church. They were like, "Hey, do you want to go out to dinner?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." I was doing my little introverted thing. They were like, "You want to go out to dinner this weekend?" I was like, "Okay." And then we went out, and we were all, you know, dressed up. We had our little meal. We all got our little cocktail if we wanted one, wine, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, "Is he drinking wine? The Lord sees you," right? It wasn't like that. We were just real. We were ourselves. It was not stuffy, nothing like that. I'm going off on a tangent. I apologize. But the goal is find people that are interested in things that you're interested in. Find social opportunities that will make you happy, that will fulfill you, right? Because it can be very difficult as a military spouse. You are transplanted constantly, and you have to find your footing. You have to find your niche. You have to find a place where you belong and find something that fulfills you, because it can be lonely. It can be lonely moving from place to place to place and starting over all the time. Your spouse, they have somewhere to fit in. My husband, he plays sports. He immediately goes to the gym. He plays basketball. He immediately makes friends, right? He has people at work. He's going to make friends at work. So he already has systems set in place where he plugs in and he's good to go. For me, I have to find that. For my kids, we have to find that. So again, start looking for those social opportunities. The next thing, research important contacts, right? School contacts, research housing contacts, research different job contacts, all those different things you're going to want to look into, and list that. In the PCS binder, which is behind me, I do have a sheet where you can write down those important contacts. So again, check all those printables out on lizlorette.com, because I have a whole bunch of resources for you, maybe things that you didn't necessarily think of. So definitely look into those things. So on the to-do list for your 3 months, seriously, get to budgeting. If you did not start that budget at the 6-month mark, that's okay, but it is time to get that budget in place, because you need to have savings. The military doesn't pay for everything. They don't pay for everything up front, and when they reimburse you, they don't pay for it all on the back end. So start that budget. It can be daunting. Start budgeting, okay? Hold a garage sale for any purge items that you want to get rid of. You probably can see a table behind me too, actually, that I need to sell. There are so many things that are being sold. I told my husband, we need to do this like an estate sale. Tell everybody, come to our house at this time, at this day, walk through, tell us what you want, and let's go. Pay us for it. But we're not going to do that. But yes, hold a garage sale. All that money is going to go on into your budget. It's going to help you out. It's just extra money People that are moving to your installation are probably looking for furniture and different things like that. Those young military families that maybe don't have a lot starting out, bam, they're looking for stuff. So use Facebook Marketplace, use those Facebook military installation pages to find buyers, or just hold a garage sale and people will come. Donate any unsold items. Make sure that you arrange for bulk pickup. Most military installations have that. If you're living off post, you're gonna have to look into things with your city if you have larger items that need to be picked up. Begin the deep clean checklist. Again, there's a deep clean checklist, and one of the to-do items on 3 months is to print it out. And see, I laid it out for you. It's so easy. So print out that deep clean checklist. Make sure that you are going through, wiping everything down. Get those baseboards, girl, because, I mean, if you like me, we probably don't do it. You know, dust the light fixtures. Yeah, those ain't been dusted in a while. Your fan, things like that. Blinds, you gotta clean those things. You gotta pull the appliances out and clean behind them, right? So there are a lot of things to start on, and that's why I recommend doing it once you are 3 months out. The next one that you need to do is begin placing work orders with your housing office. Here's a little tip. I worked for military housing, and one thing that I learned is that most housing companies, once you put in your 30-day notice, they're not about to come out and do all these work orders. No ma'am, you done broke the blind. I'm not coming to fix that. You're gonna pay for that when you move out, okay? So a little tricky trick, start making a note of all the things within your house about 3 months out. Start getting those things fixed, and that's less that you have to pay for once you give your 30-day notice. If ain't nobody gonna look out for you in your pockets, your girl is will. The next one, begin giving notice and requesting letters of recommendation. So this is mainly for if you're employed. Definitely start doing that. Give notice to your job. Make sure that you start training up whoever your replacement is. If you need to do that, begin asking for letters of recommendation for your next job. If it's for school, letters of recommendation. For your children, letters of recommendation. If they're in different social clubs or activities, you definitely want to start working on those things. Begin applying for jobs. Research and apply for childcare if you are going to work or you go to school or whatever. If you just want childcare, you might want to start applying for those things if you can, because sometimes childcare can be difficult to get into on a military installation. So definitely begin that process. Begin your kids' school enrollment if possible. Check with the school district, because every district is different, but the one that we were moving to, they said that you must have a physical address before you can enroll them. So we had to wait until housing got our application, processed it, and offered us a home. And sometimes some housing installations won't even tell you the address until you get there. So that's something, this is completely different. This is my first time at Fort Lee, where they were like, oh yeah, we have a house for you. This is the address. Here are pictures of it. They were generic pictures of that floor plan and that home, so we don't really know exactly what it's going to look like, but we have an address. So we can apply for housing. You may, again, need to check with your school district to find out, do you need to have an address, or can you just have orders saying, hey, we're coming to Fort Lee, we're coming to Fort Drum, we're coming to Fort Irwin, we're coming to wherever it is, Fort Benning, whatever. I shouldn't have said Fort Drum. I don't like to say that word out loud. But anyways, you may need your address, you may need the lease. Find out. And then sometimes housing, again, when I worked for housing, the school, in order to enroll there, just needed a letter saying, hey, this person's coming at this date, they have an offer for housing, they will be living in this neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what we did for people coming in to the installation. Again, check with the school district, check with your housing office. They may be able to assist you. It has been a while since I've worn makeup, y'all, probably like 5 weeks. So it feels weird. The next thing, complete all veterinarian appointments and vaccinations. You want to have all of that done. When you move into housing, they need, you know, a copy of their vaccine records and things like that. So just get it done before, so you are not scrambling to do that when you get to your new duty station. Complete any vehicle maintenance. For us, we just got a new car. Well, not just, actually, we got it back in January. And right now we are in the end of May. So I've had it for about 4 months. her. She is a bad one. Anyways, but we just got a new vehicle, and so there isn't much maintenance we would need to do. We're probably going to do an oil change, get all the fluids checked, topped off. That's going to be basically it for our vehicle. I did buy WeatherTech mats because driving across country with children and with a husband, there's going to be a mess in the car, right? So it's like, nah, we're not going to mess up my girl. She's flat and she needs to stay flat. So I got the WeatherTech mats, so we won't have an issue. So that's kind of it for the maintenance on that part. My husband's car, it's kind of a little bit older. We were planning on shipping it, but right now we're looking at selling it because we have a good offer for it. I think you can hear my dog's collar dangling. Yes, Luna. Hi. Hi, dog. Yes, I know. Anyways, so we're kind of thinking about selling it. So now it's only one vehicle we have to worry about maintenance on, and we'll be good. So complete any vehicle maintenance so that you can make it from here or there to your next duty station without any issues. That's definitely something we want to avoid. Verify and renew your car insurance if necessary. You want to have insurance when driving cross country, right? Again, in case there are any issues, make sure your insurance is up to date. Book vehicle transport if you are shipping your vehicle, or sell your vehicle like us if you are selling it. Schedule your transportation of household goods. You do need hard orders, a hard copy of your orders, which means like physical orders, the 2 pages, 3 pages, whatever it says, where it says like your report date, where you're going, list your dependents, all of those things. So you need that to schedule household goods, but go ahead and get that scheduled as soon as possible. We were able to do that this week, and so we know our packing and pickup day. The next one is book temporary lodging and hotels for the road trip. So like I said, you're going to determine your route, you are going to determine your nightly stopping points, and the next thing to do is go ahead and contact those hotels, hotels.com, Expedia, whatever you use, and book those hotels for the evenings that you are stopping at. For us, we also have to quarantine, like I mentioned earlier, for 14 days because of the coronavirus. So when we get to our duty station, we need to make sure that wherever we're staying at, we can stay there for 14 days and it's not going to break the bank. I believe the military is paying for that. Again, this is all completely new. But again, if they were to pay for it because we don't have the government travel card, what would happen is we pay for it out of pocket and then the government reimburses you. I'm pretty sure they are going to pay for it because it's something that they are requiring. But just make sure that you have money and you just know exactly who's paying for what. Will you be paid up front? Will you be reimbursed? All of those things. Just a good idea, okay? Let's see. I wrote sell Malibu, but that's just for us. Purge any clothes and toys, again, because they didn't get that done during the 6-month checklist because your girl was big and pregnant. Make sure that you get that taken care of if it's not done. Some tips. One of the things that you want to do is ensure that any of your credit cards, debit cards, they don't expire while you are on the road. That would be terrible to be without your money and waiting on a card to come in the mail, right? If you bank with USAA, you know that they don't have branch locations that you can just walk on into, right? So you want to make sure that all of that is taken care of before you get on the road. Make sure everything is in place. Also, normally in your apps, this is kind of a tip for like the week before you move. In your app for your bank, you can set like a travel alert to your bank saying that, hey, we'll be traveling from between these 2 dates, so they don't shut off your card for like suspected fraud. Because if you normally all your charges are at Fort Irwin, California, and now all of a sudden there's charges for hundreds of dollars in Texas, they're gonna be like, whoa, fraud, shut it down, and then you're gonna have to call. You're gonna be at the gas station trying to get gas, your card ain't working. It's no fun. So make sure that you set that alert or contact your bank if you need to. You're going to want to get together with family and friends. For us, our family is in California. It has been difficult because, again, coronavirus. Family has to stay away, right? Our military installation said, if you don't have a military ID, you ain't getting on this installation. So my family does not have military IDs, even though they're just 2 hours away. We have literally had to go down to Barstow, the In-N-Out, because that's as far as we can travel, and meet them there. And that's how they met my son. So standing in the Barstow In-N-Out parking lot. But Our goal hopefully is to get together with them before we leave. Who knows if we'll be able to? Who knows what the rules will be before we leave? So just kind of consider those things. Get together with friends that you've made on the installation. Say your see you laters, because you'll probably see each other again. That's kind of how the military works. Everybody comes back around usually once they get out, like right after you leave. I don't know, but you'll probably run into each other. And there's always Facebook, right? The next thing, attend finance briefing if possible. Again, because of the whole coronavirus, I believe my husband, I don't even know if he did it in person or if he has to do it over the phone. So I always, like I said, like to be I like to be in the know. So I like the finance classes. I like the household goods, transportation stuff. My husband adds me as as an additional email, so I get emails too when it comes to household goods shipment. I got all the emails for housing. It just helps me stay on track, on top of things. So that's just helpful if your husband or your spouse or whoever it is can do that for you. Again, check out that deep clean checklist. Make sure that you are breathing. It's about to get crazy. If you're like me and your PCS was bumped up like crazy, it's gonna get real crazy. So take a deep breath. It can be stressful, especially if you have an infant and a 5-year-old like me and you're trying to juggle them both, or you have multiple kids, or maybe you don't even have to have kids to be stressed, Like life is stressful enough, and then you add a PCS on top of it. So take a deep breath, do things that make you happy. Hopefully things are opening up. Maybe the nail shop is coming back. Get your nails done, whatever you need to do. But I hope that you take care of yourself during this time. I hope that you guys are all safe and healthy and happy. And I hope that you will check out that 3-month PCS checklist, right? Make sure that you check out the deep clean checklist, and I will see you next week with the 1-month PCS checklist. I forgot to say, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. I love you. You're my girl, you're my boy, whoever you are. I really appreciate you. If you are new here, I am Liz Lorette. I am a faith mama, military wife, and lover of all things life. I would love for you to subscribe and join my tribe. And I thank you for spending your little bit of time with me today. With that being said, I will see you next week with the 1-month PCS checklist. Later.